the next concept. And what I want to do right now for you is just kind of give you a bit of a, get your mind around all of this Outlook stuff, and I'll try to sort of glue it together in terms of what Outlook is really all about. I'm going to basically explain the 4 basic functions of Outlook, which many of you know by heart because you use Outlook. I mean, if you're on this webinar, it's obviously an important tool for you. But there are 4 basic functions of Outlook and 2 kind of what I'd call secondary functions. Turn to the person next to you and just ask them, do you know the 4 basic functions of Outlook, and see if they know. All right? I got that from a big seminar series that I was involved in. But if you're in a group, see how many people know this. Well, I'll just tell them to you right now, and then I'll talk about why. The important thing is why these functions exist. So we all know Outlook has an email client, and that's used for communicating via email. Duh. Everyone knows about Outlook email, and pretty much everyone uses Outlook calendaring, so that's one of them. So that's 2. The Outlook contact form is a 3rd, you know, the vCard format. And tasks. Those 4 things are the primary functions of Outlook. Extra credit for anyone that wants to guess, and you can put your guess right now on the chat control panel. What are the other 2 primary functions of Outlook? Or I'm going to call them secondary functions. Maybe it's just my opinion, but give you a moment to think about that. But again, Outlook basically helps you get organized in 4 primary ways. Through having a very robust email tool, calendaring, contacts, and tasks. Okay, I'm still waiting for the guesses on the other 2 secondary functions of Outlook. We'll see if anyone gets them here. But well, before I disclose those, I'm going to talk about the importance and the meaning of why these Outlook functions exist. So we all know about email. It's so that you can communicate via email. But you know, it's not quite as obvious when you start talking about tasks and calendaring. What's the difference? I hear people are often confused about that. So let me explain why there are 2 different ways of managing your time, one called calendar or appointments, and the other is called tasks. Think of it this way, that you use calendaring when you want to have a block of time on your calendar. You set an appointment. It blocks off time. So how is that different than a task? Well, a task just reminds you to do something. It pops up a reminder. It has a due date. It might have a priority and some other things. This is just Outlook functionality. But it just reminds you to do something. It by itself does not block off time on your calendar to do it. Some people, rightly, use both the calendar and a task if it's a very important thing. So you can track the completion of tasks, and you can block off time on your calendar to get those tasks done. So hopefully that's demystified that a little bit. And of course, contacts, this is another sometimes confusing thing, because in the world of business and Outlook, and especially contact management tools and CRM, the term contact can mean different things. But in today's conversation, what I wanted to explain, and the Outlook terminology, is a contact is really the record of a person. It's not a transaction, nor is it a company record or an account record. It's just a person, their name, their contact information, notes that you might put into the record, and so on. So a contact is a person. Now, I mentioned the term company and account and things like that. And there will be some bonus material at the end of this call where I'll get into some of those more kind of ancillary advanced topics of how we can extend some of this crucial functionality of Outlook. But I'll get there here in a moment. So hopefully that helps clarify, just kind of to get your mind around why Outlook exists like it does. Did you know there's like 700 million Outlook users? So you're in good company if you're on this webinar and you're using Outlook, I can tell you that. And the whole point is to get more organized, so you can get more done, be more effective, and ultimately, if you're in business, make more money. That's what it's about.